Hey everybody, it's Derek Christensen from Legion Law, working at home today. How are you? I wanted to talk to you about probate and how you might be overpaying for it in the long run. Before I do that, I wanted to tell you how to reach out to me. You can email me directly, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can get me my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. So with that, let's dive right in. It's a frequent conversation I have with a lot of people. They call in and they say, hey, I got somebody passed away. I can't do this with my house. How much is probate going to cost? And I always tell them the classic attorney answer of it depends, because at the end of the day, Texas is an extremely unique state. It has only 8 forms of, well, not only, it has a lot of forms of probate. 8 of them are probably the main ones. And on top of that, there are so many different scenarios where one might be appropriate and others might be inappropriate. And if you go with an inappropriate route, it will cost you more to fix the mistakes, and you will end up probably paying more to go to the appropriate route. So what do I mean by all this legal mumbo jumbo? What I'm trying to say is you should have an attorney who sits down with you and asks very specific questions. Namely, is there a blended family? How many debtors are there for the estate? And also, or creditors, apologies, how many creditors are on the estate, and also, what was the last? Oh yeah, exemption. So how much is the estate worth without the house and a car and personal property, generally speaking. And once you get answers to all those questions, then you can discover whether or not one of those 8 types of probate are appropriate and others are not, because unfortunately in the probate world, some attorneys just plug and chug. They don't want to do extra work. They don't want to figure out what's best for the client. And if they understand one path, they stick with that one path, even though there's 7 other paths available. Granted, a lot of those paths are very rarely used and very rarely treaded. So that is a concern. But at the end of the day, probably 4 or 5 of those 8 probates are pretty common. And some of those are very cheap, like a small estate affidavit or affidavit of heirship. And some of them are much more expensive, like dependent administration for an intestate estate. So lots of different scenarios, lots of different questions to figure out. And at the end of the day, you might be overpaying because you have a probate attorney who is adamant that one path must be taken that he's most familiar with, when in reality, there's a cheaper and faster path that's for the best interest of the client, but the attorney is just not willing to explore it because they are risk averse. So that being said, if you have any questions about probate or how much it's going to cost or what type of path of those 8 you should take, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my email is Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can reach out to me on my email or my website, legionlaw.com, or legionlawpllc.com, that is. It's early in the morning, so I'm figuring all the stuff out still. So have a great day, and that's pretty much it. So be sure you're not overpaying for probate, and I guarantee if you reach out to me, I will ask the questions to figure out what's the best and cheapest and fastest form of probate that'll be for you. So have a great day.